don't know, he either got tired or he got sloppy. Either way, Wizards took advantage. Wizards pulled away, and the Wizards win in overtime.
Wizards?
Nick Wright, that is 3 straight losses for your Los Angeles Lakers. I got to ask, is it time to panic?
Oh, Jenna, the annual tradition. Is it time to panic about a LeBron James team right before the All-Star break? But this is a concerning sign because one more loss to the Wizards and they match the season total losses to the Wizards the Nets already have. So you don't want to reach that total. So let's
This is not about the Nets.
Let's take stock. I'm just saying, it just first thing that came to mind. Let's take stock of what happened last night. Listen, LeBron's stat line is impressive, but he didn't play well. He had turnovers, missed a critical free throw, and hit a 3 to open the game, and then went 1 of 9 from 3 the rest of the way. And that's kind of the trifecta. If you're going to have a bad LeBron James game, he's going to be sloppy with the ball. His outside shot's not going to fall. On his added bonus, he did miss a free throw with a few seconds left in regulation that would have put them ahead by 1 potentially to avoid overtime. And right now, when there's no Anthony Davis and this part's underrated, no Dennis Schroeder, the 3rd best offensive player on the team, LeBron's going to have to play excellent every night. He played pretty well for the majority of last night, but the turnovers were a killer. And so, no, it's not time to panic, but I will point one thing out that predates Anthony Davis's injury, which is last year, the Lakers were an all-time NBA best. I think it was 59-0. I know they were undefeated when leading after 3 quarters. This year, they are 15-3 when leading after 3 quarters. Last year, Brandon, they were like the Yankees with Mariano Rivera, except instead of an 8-inning game, it was a 3-quarter game. If they were up after 3, it was over. This year, that hasn't been the case, so they have to clean that up. LeBron's got to clean the turnovers up, but no, it is not time to panic in Los Angeles, Brandon.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. It's not time to panic, Jenna. But this is a reality check. This is not the same championship team from last year, obviously. There's no Dwight Howard. There's no JaVale McGee. There's no Rajon Rondo. You have Marc Gasol. I mean, he can't carry the load. And then you also have the other big guy out there who's not playing well, and Markieff Morris. Like, Markieff Morris is having a bad year, and no one's really talking about. Those are the little things that we miss out when you have superstars on your team like Anthony Davis and LeBron James to get all the headlines. LeBron James, he does seem tired, Nick, but this is exactly what he has to do. You got to think about how we ended the season last year. We ended the season with them in the bubble holding up the trophy with another NBA title. And we were talking about this being the passing of the torch. This was the year where, AD was going to step into his own and potentially lead the Lakers to another 2 championships. Well, AD was playing bad before the injury. Now he's injured. So this is all bad for the Lakers, but it's just more of a reality check than it is time to hit the panic button.
Well, and the other thing is this, and Jenna laughed when I said it at the beginning, but she knows this from the last 4 years doing this show. It's usually late January that LeBron James teams hit a bit of a lull right before the All-Star break. This year, it came late February, and I was like, oh, that's odd, but it's not odd. The season started a month late, and it's you can set your clock to it. It was time in Miami, his time in Cleveland, last year with the Lakers around this time.
Yeah, but
what's
this is
unfortunate for the Lakers. Go ahead, Brandon.
This is a different situation. Sorry to cut you off, buddy, but you got to think about it. This is not the Cleveland Cavaliers where LeBron James was a one-man band and he had to do it all. This is a team that was probably the most complete team in the NBA before the season started. So I think it's a totally different situation. So, yeah, you're probably right that this is usually what happens with LeBron James' team. But from a personnel standpoint, this was a really good team. They're just depleted.
But right, and correct. And so because right now they do look a lot like that last Cavs year with LeBron, because the Lakers without Anthony Davis and Dennis Schroeder are not a great basketball team. They have a great player, the greatest player, and then a bunch of guys who are supposed to be 4th, 5th, 6th options who are being accelerated up the depth chart. But the bigger problem, Jenna, is the loss to Miami, which shouldn't have happened, the loss to the Wizards, and I know they've won 5 straight, which shouldn't have happened. If you look at their next 4, it's Utah, Portland, Golden State,
Yikes.
Phoenix. A 3-game losing streak, their longest of the year, is no big deal. You lose 5 or 6 in a row, and it starts being more concerning, and they're all of a sudden about to face, Jenna, some of the best teams in basketball over the next week and a half before the break.
And what do we know about LeBron? His answer to that, when he's a one-man show, is to lean in, which is what he's been doing. His 4th 40-plus minute game in February last night. That's a lot of minutes for a guy this many years into the league, even if it is LeBron. But you're not going to hear him complain. Listen to what he had to say about the narrative that he needs more rest. Here's LeBron.
I mean, I'm resting now. I'm sitting here talking to you guys. I'm resting when I get in my car and head home. I'm resting when I get home. I'll rest tomorrow. I think this whole narrative of, LeBron needs more rest, or I should take more rest, or I should take time here, it's become a lot bigger than what it actually really is. I've never talked about it. I don't talk about it. I don't believe in it. We all need more rest. It's a fast turnaround from last season. And we all wish we could have more rest. But, I'm here to work, and I'm here to punch my clock in and be available to my teammates. And if I'm hurt or if I'm not feeling well, then we can look at it then. But I have nothing but honest people around me, but I'm also honest with myself as well. And, me having the love for the game and me being able to be available to my teammates is more important than anything.
LeBron James, all business. Brandon, should the Lakers actually consider LeBron's workload after what we've seen the last stretch in February?
No, they shouldn't. This is exactly what has to happen for them to contend again. And look, I disagree with LeBron. This is the narrative that he created. You always have to create a narrative as a player. And what is the narrative right now this year? Oh, my goodness. LeBron James, 36 years of age. Oh, my goodness. This is his 18th year. How can he play night after night after night, not take a game off? And now, the last 3 weeks, it's been about the minutes. This is for LeBron to continue that narrative of, not the narrative because it is true, of maintaining the status of the best player on the planet. Because when you look at it, everyone's talking about LeBron James. He should be the MVP. Well, there's 11 guys that are averaging more points than LeBron right now. Zach LaVine, you have Trae Young, you have Jason Tatum. So the reason why we're having this conversation is because of his age, is because of how he's doing it. So I think that LeBron James created this narrative, and this is something that they have to maintain to be able to contend. So, Nick, this situation right now is not great for the Lakers. LeBron James' workload, we talked about it before. LeBron James knows how to load manage within the game. Like we talked about other guys in other sports, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. Yep. These guys know how to play without the ball. They know how to play when the ball's on the other side. So LeBron James is smart. He's savvy. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I totally disagree with you, though, that he has created this narrative about rest. He has not. It is all of us talking about, should he load manage? Should he take a game off? Should he play fewer minutes? The only thing LeBron James has said all year that came anywhere close to talking about rest was talking about not wanting to have the All-Star game. And when he was asked about that at the end of the press conference last night, he said he didn't want to get into it because he'd already discussed it. This is, to me, bigger than LeBron. He knows it. And this is why, no matter what you think of who the greatest basketball player ever is, this is why LeBron is the greatest ambassador for the sport Adam Silver, the late David Stern, anyone could have ever asked for. Because 3 years ago, and particularly 2 years ago, we were at a bit of a tipping point when it came to load management, guys taking nights off, and superstars not showing up for nationally televised games, guys cutting minutes, guys missing games entirely when fully healthy in their 20s. Not Tim Duncan.